Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we'll be big box store plant shopping at Home Depot out in North McKinney, Texas. As always, please make sure you are hitting the like button for this video, as well as following me on Instagram at Grow Folds. That's the fastest way to get in touch with me directly. And if you like daily 1-hour plant shopping videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel with the notification bell on so you are always up to date with all of my live premieres and video posts. But as you can see, it is a beautiful morning, Thursday morning when I actually filmed this, and you can see that we've got some beautiful plants right here at Home Depot. I noticed that the Altman plants, I guess staff was actually out restocking the plants at this Home Depot. So that's super exciting, but you can see all of the beautiful crotons in all of the fall colors that you are seeing at a lot of these big box stores and local nurseries. This particular Home Depot I haven't been to in quite a while, and I have not seen these alocasias. This Alocasia lutea, it's an Alocasia hybrid. You can see that it is massive, and you can look at the veining on the leaves. Look at that. It's such a beautiful golden yellow color, and even the stems are all golden yellow. I really like that a lot. And let's see how much it costs. $59.98. This is a massive Alocasia, or what you call an elephant ear. I would think that this particular Alocasia could be a perennial in my grow zone, which is 8B, North Dallas. So, you know, this would be something that you could actually grow out in the landscape. And what's really interesting is just how the size of this particular Alocasia is, but I really love the yellow, or that golden yellow stem. I haven't seen that in an Alocasia, and you can see this one right here is actually pushing out a new leaf. That's really interesting how it is literally just ripping through that stem, and there's going to be a new leaf that unfurls. I would love to get something this size, but unfortunately indoors, it would be almost a nightmare to try to keep this plant alive. And as far as just the season, it's a little late to actually grow this particular Alocasia into the ground. But, you know, that's something that I might consider growing next year. And then we're going to go pan over a bunch of crotons. And I know, plant foldies, that you've seen quite a bit of crotons. I'm pretty sure some of you guys might actually be tired of looking at crotons, but I love crotons, and it's just so interesting that in the fall season we see crotons and mums. Crotons and mums is what you will see during the fall season. You can see that we've got a bunch of croton petras there, and then we also have some croton mame. Now, I might actually grow some croton mames right over here. Look at how cute these are, and I just love the colors. Like, I know that some people find crotons not as pretty, or just not really a plant they want to grow, but for me, I absolutely love it. I mean, you can see right here, this is by Nature's Way. So you've got a bunch of crotons plus a cordyline Hawaiian tea plant. I think it's the kiwi version, but they also call it harlequin. And then we also have an Asiatic jasmine that has that orange variegation. I really want to know what that particular particular Asiatic jasmine is, because it's got some really cool variegation. Part of me wants to just buy this particular container, not really for the croton or the cordyline plant, but for that particular Asiatic jasmine. I think it's a really nice one. And then you can see it's only for $39.98, which I think for this particular planter, it does make sense, because all three plants can take a lot of light, especially the croton, and it's just got some really nice colors. So, you know, as far as the fall color arrangement, this instant patio planter, I would recommend purchasing it if you just want an instant gratification plant. Now, as far as the cordyline Hawaiian tea plant, as well as the croton plant, that is a plant I wouldn't really recommend growing indoors. You know, I've mentioned this in a lot of my videos, but cordyline Hawaiian tea plant is very much spider mite prone when you grow it indoors. And then if you have a croton plant, it just wants to be outdoors. It really needs that light. It really needs that humidity. But as you can see, as I pan around here, this is a very full Home Depot, and so we're going to see what kind of plants we find today. You can see this is a philodendron sun red, and I was really tempted to purchase this because the plants for proven winners are 50% off. So this would only be $9.98, somewhere around that range. You can see that that is a beautiful new leaf that's unfurling. I do want to get more philodendron because philodendron are very easy to care for plants. They are, for the most part, not finicky in terms of like maybe even the watering, that you can get away with them fully drying out and not having to worry about them like drooping down and dying. This one right here is a Tradescanthia feeling flirty. So I ended up purchasing this particular Tradescanthia, and you'll see in the later part of the video because I am visiting two Home Depot locations. So definitely check out both sections. I decided that I would combine two plant shopping videos that I filmed this week to one video. So we'll definitely see that. But as you can see, plant foldies, Hoya carnosas. I love visiting Home Depots because they typically have, you know, while they have the same plants, they have a lot of plants to choose from. And that's the thing about Home Depots is it is pretty consistent about the plants that they source out. A lot of proven winter plants, a lot of succulents and cactus, which we will really go into detail today. So if you are a succulent or cactus lover, today is an exciting video because I will be showing you a lot of cactus and succulents. Now, as far as all of the big box stores we visited recently, I would say that Costa Farms is definitely releasing a lot of new trending tropical plant releases like the Geo plants. And then as far as the plants that we're just seeing, again, it's just a bunch of crotons and chrysanthemums, or what you call mums. But you can see they do have these proven winter plants for 50% off. So they're $9.99. And I'm just going to pan around here and just show you the beautiful crotons again that they have. Now, as far as proven winter plants, you can see they've got many varieties. I'm going to pull this out because I will end up buying one of these today. This is a feeling flirty Tradescanthia. Now with Tradescanthias, again, they are very much an easy plant to take care of. The only problem I have with them is that they are plants that get very leggy very quickly, so you want to cut them back. The only Tradescanthia I say that really doesn't get leggy would be a Tradescanthia Nanook, but even then those can get leggy. But for some reason they're not as delicate as some other Tradescanthias, so you want to take a look at that. Now, as far as the Ficus elastica, that one is a Ficus elastica ruby. We also have a Ficus elastica taniki. Those are all for $9.99. And we're going to keep looking at all the other plants that they have over here. So you can see I'm almost tempted to buy this for $9.99 because it is a good starter plant. I feel like you could grow this into a really large plant. Now, where I'm from, which is the Philippines, I vacationed out there in August. For those that are actually just discovering my channel, you could see Ficus elastica or rubber tree plants to be full-blown trees, 20 to 30 feet tall, and they are growing out in full sun. But as you can see in the other side of the world, on the western side of the world, these are plants that you really can't grow outdoors like that long term because we get cold winters. It's the same thing with the croton plants. So I've noticed that croton plants, especially even in the Caribbean, even though they are not native to the Caribbean, they also are grown in landscapes as like a tropical shrub. Now over here for $19.98, we've got another Calathea right here. This is one that I ended up buying at Home Depot, at another Home Depot, for a larger size. I got it for $18.88. It's a beautiful plant. It is a plant. I would say Calatheas are very challenging to grow. And not only did I buy one, but I ended up buying three that same day just because the price was right. $18.88 was a huge sale for the size that it was at, because it was actually larger than that Calathea. And then I ended up thinking about getting one of these right here. So this is actually on sale. Normally it's for $29.98. It is for $14.98. Beautiful Ficus elastica burgundy. And yes, it is a common rubber tree plant that you would find, but I love it. I love the structure of it. I love the texture of the leaves. It does feel very rubbery, and it is a pretty durable plant. I also love the fact that it has a red vein underneath the plant. There's just very small nuances that I appreciate about this plant. And that's the thing about growing plants, plant foldies. It is all about looking at the very minute details. Sometimes those minute details are what bring you joy. And that's the reason why I would ask plant foldies, what are plants that you've seen that I've featured at big box stores that you ended up buying? And can you tell me like specifically what details of the plant that you like? Leave that in the comments. I really love that engagement in the comments. And for those that really leave a lot of comments in the comment section, thank you so much, Tree. Thank you so much, much, Kathy. Thank you so much, Alice. Really appreciate that. I love that you guys take the time to leave comments in the comment section, because I will literally respond to every single comment. And plant foldies, if you haven't already and you made it this far into the video, first of all, thank you for the watching all the way through so far. And then also, please make sure you are hitting that like button. I mentioned this in every single video, and I do mention it multiple times in the video, but hitting the like button for this video will definitely help push this video to more plant lovers like yourself. Our community is really growing at a pretty fast pace, and that's due to the fact that you guys are engaging with me and also just doing that simple task of helping me out by hitting the like button. So if you can, definitely do that. And then, as you can see right here, plant foldies, it is also well to note that whenever I do plant shopping videos, I actually prefer filming in the morning, because you can see how gorgeous the lighting is for the plants. The sun isn't as intense, and I did want to feature just a couple of flowering plants today as well. You can see right here, this is a black eyed Susan. Look at that. That's really interesting of a plant. It almost looks like a sunflower, but it is not. And obviously this plant right here, especially with a lot of blooming plants, they're going to need a lot of light. Full sun is what this particular plant wants, but as I pan around here, it's always nice that Altman's staff, the nursery, actually has restocked all of these big box stores. Like, take a look at this flowering plant right here. Let's take a look. $10.98. This is another cone flower, or what you call it, echinacea. So echinacea is actually an herb that helps with boosting the immune system. I do love the fact that the flowers are really nice as well. The cone flowers come in many different varieties. This one is more of like a peach orange tone, right next to that other black-eyed Susan flower. So really nice flowers. That's one thing I didn't really touch base this year, is my flower garden. I had a bunch of zinnias that I grew out in my backyard. So next year, whenever I do have my outdoor space, my garden, I want to feature that as well, because not only do I like indoor tropical plants, I also like outdoor plants. I love bonsai, for instance. There's just other varieties of plants outside of the aeroids and tropical plants that I typically feature in my videos. Now, this one right here, these coral bells, I have seen this quite a bit as well. Now, all of these are plants by Vigoro Plants, but you can see that has that nice crimson red color. And as I pan away, look at how beautiful that is. And here we go again. We've got these gorgeous 10-inch planters of calatheas right here, and they are on sale for $18.88. They're normally $24.48. The price of these calatheas, absolutely amazing, because you typically don't see calatheas being sold this price. Look at this calathea dotty, so beautiful. I love that dark foliage. I ended up making what I would consider a bad decision by buying 3 of these calatheas. I ended up buying this one, the calathea dotty, and then the calathea pink star. I just thought that I just couldn't get away from the price. The price was really nice. So far in my care, they have been doing very well. I water them every other day, and then also spray them with neem oil at least once a week, and they've been doing okay. I'm trying to repel any potential spider mites, and I do have my calatheas in my plant room where it gets up to 70% humidity with my humidifier. So I feel like that's going to give them more optimal environments. Now, I am curious to see if you guys think I should also get the Calathea macoyana and also the Calathea lancifolia. Those are the 2 that I haven't gotten in that size, because look at this. This is the Calathea lancifolia, or what you call the rattlesnake Calathea. Really like the look of this one as well. I love just the patterns on this Calathea, and this again is on sale for $18.88. So with big box stores, and this is the reason why I love making big box or plant shopping videos for you guys, is the plant finds that I can find. Sometimes I find that hit the jackpot and get a really nice plant for a really good price. Like, look at the undersides of this Calathea lancifolia. Beautiful plant, but I am not going to buy that today, as well as the Calathea macoyana, just because I want to see if I'm able to grow those 3 calatheas long term. I'm really trying hard not to send calatheas to plant heaven. And then over here, we've got another cordyline plant, but this one is just a green version of this cordyline plant. This is for $19.84, 10-inch planter. And with cordyline plants, I would love to be able to grow them indoors, but I just wouldn't recommend growing cordyline cordylines indoors because they are very much spider mite prone. I mentioned that in all my videos, I like to show cordyline plants, but you know, in terms of just the humidity levels that they need to repel, you know, spider mites, I just would, I guess, recommend growing those plants outdoors. Same thing with these bird of paradise. Like, they're beautiful, but they do take up quite a bit of space and they really need a lot of light. Now, this is the parrot flower for $19.98. You can see that it is a beautiful tropical plant, and you can see that it is actually in bloom. Look at those orange blooms. Really like the look of that as well. And whenever you go to like Home Depot, I would say that Home Depot is probably the one big box store that has the most large foliage plants. I really like the look of these plants. Like you can see right here, this is a ficus lyrata. Really like the look of that as well. And then we have a bunch of majesty palms. Now here's the thing about majesty palms. They are readily available at a lot of big box stores, and this one is for $22.98. But I really don't see the appeal, at least for my personal plant collection, so that's why I don't really have palms. And then you can see that this particular Home Depot, I wanted to highlight the fact that they have really good organization and merchandising for their plants. You can see there are a bunch of Epipremnum aureum neon pothos, and then we've got some more majesty palms right here. I would say the organization, the merchandising of a particular big box store really influences on whether I will do impulse buys or buys that I don't necessarily plan on doing, but since they just look so appealing, I end up just purchasing plants. Like all of these beautiful Monstera deliciosas as well. Gorgeous looking plant. Love how it's just a green plant, but I feel like Monstera deliciosas are always going to be a classic house plant. It is a plant though that you have to plan for the future in terms of how much space it's going to take up, because they can get very massive. I do like the look of Monstera deliciosas, even though they are just a green form. I know there's a lot of variegated monsteras, like the Monstera Thai Constellation, Monstera Thai Constellation mutations, Monstera albo, Monstera aurea, but I would say the green form is still going to be the most healthy, vigorous form, and it's the one that I feel like we should still put in our plant collections. Over here is another Hawaiian tea plant right here for $19.98. And you can see it's got more of that dark burgundy color. And when you put it right next to the Calathea lancifolia, I feel like they complement each other in terms of the color combination. So I really love that as well. And you can see that this one right here is a little bit leggy, but you know, with cordyline tea plants, as they get more mature, they start to lose the bottom of the leaves and they end up getting more of like a woody trunk. So that's just natural for it. And then you can see here, this one is for $29.98. This is a ZZ plant, and this is a really nice size ZZ plant. If you're going to ask me what the easiest house plant to grow indoors would be, it would definitely be the ZZ plant. It is very much drought tolerant. It can tolerate lower light conditions, and it's just an easy to care for plant. People might find this a very basic plant, but I say this in all my videos every single day. No matter how basic a plant is, if that plant has easy care tips or easy care requirements, I would say that is the plant you need to add into your collection. Even if we have some of these, you know, plant lovers that have very rare philodendrons or aeroids that cost hundreds, thousands of dollars, I would recommend a ZZ plant. I would recommend Aglaonemas. I would recommend Pothos plants. I would even recommend Monstera deliciosa. Like monsteras in general are fairly easy, but as you can see right here, what a beautiful morning. What a beautiful morning to go plant shopping. For me, doing these plant shopping videos, it's super therapeutic. I'm actually filming this as I head off to work, before I head off to work. So, you know, it's a good way to start my day, looking at beautiful foliage like this. Look at this Monstera deliciosa, for instance. These are by Nature's Way, and I have 3 Monstera deliciosas, just a green form, a bunch of Monstera Thai Constellations, and I just love the look of the leaves. And then here is a Dracaena Lemon Surprise for $19.98. Notice how the Dracaena can get large. If you want to get a large foliage plant like a Dracaena, I would spend that $19.98 because you don't have to wait very long to get a large foliage plant. And as I pan away here, it does feel like a jungle. You can see we've got some more Dracaenas. We've got this Dracaena right here. This is Dracaena Riki. So it's got more narrow leaves. It's got more of a green form about it. And again, this is another plant that I I feel like a lot of people overlook, don't really pay attention to. It's an underrated plant, but it is a plant that, plant foldies, I hope you can at least try growing one in your plant collection, see if it brings you joy. And now I'm going to pan over here and take a look at a lot of these succulents and cactus. So it looks like they have a pretty extensive form of succulents and cactus. Home Depot typically does, but I did want to take a little bit more time today to take a look at this. $9.98. We've got an Opuntia Emerald Wave. Now this is a common Opuntia that you would see. I don't know if it can actually grow in my grow zone 8B long-term in the ground, but as you can see, we've got a lot of those Opuntias. And then we also have another fall planter, mixed planter with a parrot flower, crotons, and then we also have some mixed planters of some succulents and cactus. So this one is a really nice looking one. This one is for $26.98 by Smart Plants. So Smart Plants exclusively I guess sources out a lot of the succulents and cactus. You can see that there's quite a bit of a nice arrangement. I do like the color combination. Now with succulents, again, I don't know a lot about succulents, but I am open to starting to like introduce it into my plant collection. I find them a very interesting form of plants because they come with so many different shapes, sizes, colors, textures, and varieties. I mean, you can see right here, this is the golden barrel cactus for $9.98. And this actual golden barrel cactus can get very massive, very large in a pretty quick amount of time. And you can see over here, we have some more succulents and cactus. So I'm just going to pan over and show you the plant IDs. This is an interesting Kalanchoe maternity plant, $9.98. What an interesting name for it. And then you can see right over here, this is just, it just has like a really interesting pattern on the plant. So really like that as well. And that's another plant that I might potentially add to my collection. You know, I like those grays. I like those dark foliage plants. And so plant folies, I'm going to just keep showing you more succulents. And in plant foldies, you can see right over here, this is an interesting African golden candelabra, I think, or euphorbia. Look at this. It's a variegated euphorbia. I just want to take a little bit of time to show you how beautiful that green and yellow variegation is. What a beautiful plant. Now, I don't have a lot of euphorbias. I actually only have one, but look at this right here. I'm actually almost inspired to purchase this one, but this one's a little bit too large for my plant collection just because I don't really have a lot of experience growing euphorbia. And here's the thing, whenever you run into plants that you're not really familiar with, I always mention to my plant foldies or anybody just getting into plants, do your research on plants first, really assess your living space, the amount of time you can invest into the plant. I feel like that's going to give you a higher success rate of actually letting the plant grow in your care versus sending it off to plant heaven. The amount of plants that I was like really inspired to purchase and then I didn't really do a lot of research has really led to a lot of my plants growing to plant heaven. So as much as I love how that particular euphorbia looks like, I definitely want to hold off on it. And you know, this particular Home Depot has quite a bit of beautiful plants. These succulents look really immaculate. Like, look at this. And for those that love succulents and cactus, specifically to my loyal subscribers, Kathy from Canada, as well as Trish, I just thought of you ladies because I know that I have attempted to really show you guys a lot of these succulents and cactus, but I'm glad that I was able to capture a lot today, like this Peruvian apple cactus. Super cool looking cactus. I really like the form on it. And again, with all of these cactus and succulents, you really want to provide them them with quite a bit of light, bright light. Some will need full sun to really thrive, but you can see that this particular Home Depot has quite a bit of different sizes. And then we're going to go pan around here, and I'm going to show you some more cactus and succulents as well. There are a lot of varieties of succulents and cactus. You can see right here, this is another type of Opuntia. I think this is Opuntia Emerald Wave for $24.98. Really like the look of that. And then we also have the Altman Reserve Cactus. So I will show you what we have right here. So this one is an aloe purple. Yeah, this one's an aloe purple something. I missed the plant ID, but what a cool looking one. And I love the fact that Altman planters have that AR etched into it. Really nice modern looking planter. These are not a bad price at all as well. These are for $19.98. You can see right over here, we've got a Euphorbia, Horita. What a very spiky looking cactus right over here as well. Now, that's the only thing about cactus and succulents that you have to be really cautious about is how do you repot them? I guess most people use tongs. And then look at this little succulent arrangement on this little wine bottle or bottle. Really nice looking one. Now, I'm just curious where the drainage holes would be for that one, but that is a really nice looking arrangement. And I particularly like this one as well because you can see that we've got the Kalanchoe Chocolate Soldier. We've got another one that is a variegated Kalanchoe, and those are some of the plants I like. Kalanchoe specifically, the fuzzy brown one, and then also the variegated one right there with the pink outlining. Really nice looking succulent arrangement, and that's the thing, there's just a lot to learn as far as succulents. And then right here, this is the hen and chick succulent. So this one is for $6.98, and you can see that this one particularly has a lot of chicks. So this one self-propagates and pushes out a lot of babies. What you can do is separate the baby by just chopping it off, sticking it on the surface of a soil, and if you just missed it a little bit, it will propagate and root itself. What an easy plant to actually save. This definitely becomes more of like a succulent ground cover, and for $6.98, that is not a bad price at all. You can definitely share it. That one doesn't have a single baby on it at all, but have no fear, that one will eventually push out some little chicks. And then I'm just going to keep showing you all of the different textures of all of these cactus right here. These ones are all for $6.98. Here we have a beautiful string of raindrops. Really like the look of that as well. It is another plant that I feel like I could add to my collection. I really do like the texture of it. So the only string of something I have is a variegated string of pearls. And then you can see this is another hanging basket of another succulent, a variegated succulent. I think that is the rainbow elephant bush. And then we just have more of these hanging baskets of these succulents right here. I think that is a string of bananas or string of hooks, but these are all by Smart Plants again that source out to Home Depot. And then we're gonna spin around here. And so I love the fact that Altman Reserve, that's the line of plants by Altman Plants that they have available. They have that there. And then I did want to take a look at some of these Echeveria. So I'm going to show you the plant IDs for this. This one is the Arctic Ice. I do like the gray tone on this particular Echeveria. Beautiful plant. I am tempted to purchase some succulents today, but you can see right here, this is another one, the Daisy Rose one. I do like the structures of them. They have a really nice bloom type structure, like a flower structure, and this is the one I actually am a fan of. This one I believe is the Echeveria Lola, so it's a hybrid, but I want to get, I think if I find a starter one like this, a smaller variety, I will probably buy it, because if you look at it, it really looks like a little beautiful flower. Really like the look of that. I also like the fact that it's got a pastel grayish green tone about it. And so I'm just going to keep showing you all of these different types of succulents and cactus. Again, we're going to go ahead and delve into some of these Altman Reserve cactus right here. Look at all of the different textures. And then this one right here is a Euphorbia again. So hopefully my plant folies that love cactus and succulents, please leave in the comments which ones that you have grown, which ones you like, which ones would you purchase at Home Depot. Like, I am looking at all sell these succulents and cactus, and I even like the planters that Altman Reserve has. I am really tempted to purchase one today, so I don't know, we'll see if I end up getting one. But you can see right here, this is the Delta Lightning aloe. That is such a cool looking aloe vera. Didn't realize that aloe vera has more interesting textures. I think of aloe vera as just kind of that medicinal aloe vera that you'll find at a grocery store that they would sell, but this one is the euphorbia that I actually have in my collection. I ended up getting it for a really good price. But look at how beautiful that is. I love that ghostly gray tone it has. And then you can see right here, this is a Euphorbia lactea variegata for $19.98. I would say that these cactus must have been like restocked by the Altman crew, because you can see there were a bunch of Altman plants working today as I was filming this video. So it looks like, they made their rounds to refill some of these big box stores. It's easy to say that, a lot of these are probably just recently restocked. Love the structure of that particular euphorbia as well. Now with all of the euphorbias and aloe, you want to provide them with quite a bit of bright light, sometimes full sun. Just do your research. But I do like the Altman Reserve succulents and cactus, really nice varieties that they have here. And as I pan away, they've got quite a bit of different types of succulents and cactus. Plant foliage, you can see here, they also have some succulent arrangements. This is for $13.48. I love that purple looking one as well. And that's the thing about succulents and cactus. Oftentimes, a lot of people don't really invest in the time to show them, but I wanted to make a video where I am appealing to multiple different types of families of plants. And, succulents and cactus, while it's not my forte, I did want to just kind of shed a little bit more light, get more exposure, get people excited, because looking at how beautiful these succulents and cactus, I definitely am going to be purchasing some today. Didn't really plan on doing it, but plant foldies, like I said again, I'm willing to go ahead and become even more broke in my bank account because of all of these plant shopping videos. I don't mind it, but what a beautiful morning. Look at all of these plants, and I am very fortunate that all of the North Dallas locations and big box stores typically have a huge variety of plants to choose from. And yes, speaking of plants, I'm definitely going to buy this aloe vera right here. This is a variegated aloe vera for only $16.98. I'm definitely going to buy it because look at that. That is such a cool looking aloe vera. I do like the yellowish Aurea look about it, and that is not a bad price at all. That's a really nice looking plant. So we'll see what that looks like. But in terms of the care, I'm not so worried about killing, or not, let's say better yet, sending this to plant heaven, because the price is not that bad. But who knows, maybe I'll be able to successfully grow this variegated aloe vera. I thought about getting a variegated Sansevieria snake plant, the starfish version, but that one was a little bit more expensive. This kind of reminds me of like a starfish snake plant, so for half the cost. So I'm going to see, let me know what that looks like right now, but we will definitely see if that will grow in my care. I will definitely purchase that today. And then you can see that this is another blooming plant. I don't know the plant ID. And then I'm going to spin around here and show you guys even more cactus and succulents. So I'm super excited to show that this is the artichoke agave. I've seen this actually at Lowe's, but that is another one that is commonly found. And then take a look at this plant foldies. What does this look like? I really like the look of this plant right here. Look at this. This is another type of agave. This is the agave threads. So it's got a really interesting texture about it. It's another plant that I would eventually want to add to my collection just because it's got a unique look. These are also sourced at by Smart Plants, and you can see in the background we've got some tropical plants, but a bunch of succulents and cactus. I would say that this Home Depot probably has a larger selection of succulents and cactus that I've seen typically from most Home Depot. So it's really nice that I can travel around the Dallas-Fort Worth area and really show you guys a lot of these plants. And I would say even the plant merchandising is amazing. And this, this location is a good 15 minutes away from where I'm based at, so it's not that far. And they still have this on sale, 2.5 inch starter planter. So it's 3 for $10. So usually they're now $3.33. So I'm gonna look at these. This one is a Echeveria Milagro. I think I'm going to end up purchasing this one because I do like the structure of that. I am going to go ahead and see which one I have, and I think I'm going to probably buy that. So I'm hoping that this is the Lola, but it says it's the Serpentina. They look very similar. Maybe it's a label, but that is another succulent I want to get. Now here's the thing about these Echeveria or these rosette succulents. If you're going to water them, if you're able to water them from the bottom, like bottom watering them, do that. Do not water them from the top, because if you let water sit on their leaves, they may potentially rot, and that is just, you know, a quick way to actually send them to plant heaven. It will also destroy the shape of the leaves. So you can see that these have some perfect looking shapes of the plant. Like I would love to just collect all of them, but only grow them in like a terracotta pot. Like look at this one right here. Let's take a look at this. This is another one that I'm considering getting. I'm probably going to buy 2, maybe 3, and see if I can do that. Now what I'll do is I'll actually repot these succulents and cactus in what I would call bonsai mix or soil mix, because I feel like they need fast draining soil, and it would just be a safer bet. You know, a rule of thumb is it's always better to grow these in let's see, this one, this is the Echeveria Lola. I may end up just getting that because what a beautiful plant. I really want to see it grow into that larger size. I just like the shape of it, and you can see right here, like they look very similar. I also am going to collect some more like succulents that have more of a pinkish tone about them, but I do like the grayish white tones, and you can see this one, this is the red kissed Echeveria. You can see that it has a more compact growth about it, and then you can see over here again plant foliage. Let's take a look. This one is the Arctic Ice one, very similar to the Lola. So plant foliage, let me know if you would like to grow Echeveria. If you're growing Echeveria, I am going to have a collection of Echeveria, so you can already see that I'm going to have another plant obsession, and it's going to be that. And then you can see right here, this is another type of Echeveria. I thought it was more of like a Crusala or jade plant. Really like the sun stressing on that, but as I pan around here, I'm just going to keep picking up plants and showing you these plants and see what you think. Leave in the comments which ones that you would actually pick up. I really want to know your insights, again, plant foldies. And if you made it this far into the video, thank you. But also please make sure you are pushing that like button, hitting the like button for this video. The like button really helps push my videos out to more plant lovers like yourself, and I would really love for our community to grow. But you can see that these Echeveria are a little bit larger than the ones that are on sale, so I am just going to start off with a smaller starter planter, just because I'm not really versed in growing succulents. Again, that is not my forte, but it is one that I want to definitely start growing. And you can see these cactus are also for $3.33. That looks super cute. And that's the thing. I remember seeing a couple of Japanese plant collectors. Succulents and cactus are actually really a big deal in Japan and Korea. Not sure why, but there's a lot of a huge following for cactus and succulents. I would say maybe it's because it's not really endemic to those countries. Maybe there's a little bit more, you know, an exotic appeal about them. But, you know, as far as all of these succulents and cactus, like I'm really happy that I ran into them. I'm definitely buying 2 of those succulents, the Lola and that other Echeveria, and I will get that variegated aloe. Plant foliage, leave in the comments if you would also buy those plants that I'm picking up today. It's a nice little treat for me because the weekend is almost here, and I did want to tell our plant foliage some really fun and exciting news. I was selected to be a plant influencer for the Texas Aeroid Show that is going to be on October 26th in Houston, Texas. I hope that you guys might be able to make a road trip out to Houston. The tickets are already on sale. You will definitely see me there. So if you are a local Houston plant foldy, I would love to meet up with you. You already know I will be wearing my Grow Folds t-shirt. So if you want to meet up with me, send me a direct message on Instagram. Let me know if you're going. And I hope that you guys would actually buy tickets. That will be my first plant convention, plant show that I'm actually an influencer. Never really thought of myself as a plant influencer, but I would tell you, with the amount of support I've gotten from you guys, for y'all to just be going to these big box stores with me, really watching my plant shopping videos, commenting, hitting the like button. You already know I need that help with the like button. It's really propelled my platform, and that's what really brings me a lot of joy, just to be able to walk around here, show you these plants, give you my insights, ask for your insights. That's all so much fun, and the fact that I can do this on a daily basis, it's really part of my day-to-day everyday life, and I just really enjoy it. Again, in all my videos, videos, I like to take the time to at least say thank you. It is a very humbling experience. It's an honor for me to just, you know, present plants in a way where you and I seem like we're hanging out together. So let me get off my little soapbox and just kind of show you the remaining plants. You can see that those are large alocasia with a beautiful veining. That is an alocasia regal shield. And then we just have a plethora of beautiful color. We can see that this is a cordyline kiwi, also known as a harlequin, in a mixed planter with a bunch of Croton petras. I will probably buy some Crotons next week if I find them at a good price, just because I feel like, you know, Crotons, I talk about how much I love Crotons anyway. I might as well go ahead and, you know, feel the fall season, the fall, the vibes that they, you know, Crotons give. And then you can also see that there are a bunch of proven winner starter planters. Look at that beautiful Calathea orbifolia. That one is for $14.98. That's also on sale by proven winners. But, you know, Calathea orbifolia, that is another one, you know, another Calathea that I love the structure of, but I have sent it to Plant Heaven about 5 times. So I'm gonna, you know, steer away from it unless I can find it as a, you know, a really good price. But I can't get over the fact that this beautiful alocasia I've never seen before. And what I really find beautiful is the fact that it has that golden yellow stem. Something about stem colors really get me excited with plants, and, you know, just all of the flamboyant colors of a Croton. So now we're going to go big box store plant shopping at another Home Depot. This is further down south. This is off in West Plano, Texas. And this one is another place or another Home Depot that I visited not too long ago, where I found a variegated sport desert rose. We're going to see what plants they have available here. So this is the second portion of the video. I am surprised that they actually have a bunch of sunflowers still available in containers. You can see right over here we've got some sunflowers. But as far as Home Depot, if I were to highlight plants that you should buy at Home Depot, they would be more of the large foliage plants. So if you're looking for like a Monstera deliciosa, if you're looking for some Aglaonemas, if you're looking for an Alocasia, a Dracaena, I would say Home Depot tends to have more of a selection and a really good price as compared to all the other big box stores. That's just my opinion. So, you know, we'll see what that looks like. And then over here, Plant Foldies, we've got a bunch of mums. So you already know, if you're going to buy mums or chrysanthemums for the season, I would buy them when they haven't really bloomed yet, because then your blooms will last a little bit longer into the season. Now they are readily available. I love the colors. And you can see over here, speaking of large foliage plants, so this one is $29.98 versus it being $44.98. Massive Alocasia regal shield. And, you know, this is a plant that I would love to add into my collection, but the size of the Alocasia is already a size constraint for my space, and it's very much Spider Mite Pro. Now also, this is a really good price for some Monstera deliciosas, and so we're gonna go look at that in the indoor garden section, but I did want to take a little bit more time to show you the outdoor section. Here's the thing, Plant Foldies, the last time I visited here, I didn't really show the outdoor section. I would dub this Home Depot as one of the best Home Depots in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. This is the one off of Parker, is it Parker Road? In Plano, West Plano, Texas. This is right next to the Costco. So if you get a chance, definitely check this out, because the organization of the plants, the health of the plants, the variety of the plants, the selection of the plants is top notch. Like you can see, look at this beautiful merchandising that they have over here of the Croton plants. I really love the Croton petra. It is another Croton, or just another plant that I think, at least for the fall season, can we all see about buying at least a Croton plant, you know, growing it on your patio and just giving it a chance. Now here is an example of a mum or chrysanthemum that's in full bloom. So if you were to purchase that, for instance, that bloom would only last for about a week and a half. So you want to go buy blooms where they are literally just starting to bloom, or no blooms at all. That way they will last you a little bit longer. What I love about chrysanthemums is the fact that they have a mounding round shape about it. So it's a really nice, cute little bush. Those can be grown into the ground as well. And I mentioned how mums are perennials, so they will come back year after year depending on your grow zone. And then you can see right here, they've got those combination planters by Nature's Way. I love the look of this particular cordyline Hawaiian tea plant. Like, part of me wants to attempt to grow this indoors, but I've seen it happen where cordyline plants, if you grow them indoors, they're just very much spider mite prone. But I do love this combination planter. Like, this one has that beautiful Asiatic jasmine, but you can see that it's got that yellow and orange variegation. If anybody can give me the specific plant ID for that, I would love that as well. And then you can see right over here, we've just got lots of colors going on, and this is actually only for $38.98. Like, I would totally buy this planter just because it has 3 of the plants that I would actually like, and the colors make sense. And that's the thing. Plant foldies, have you seen a lot of these mixed planters where the plants, the plant care doesn't really make sense, the color combination doesn't make sense? That particular color combination makes sense. Now, these garden mums are for $14.98. I love that it's just a yellow mum. So, you know, mums in general, they come in many different shapes, varieties. I happen to find ones that look more so like the Japanese chrysanthemums, the more hybridized ones with the really large blooms. But you can see right here, plant foldies, more chrysanthemums, more crotons. We got the croton mames again right here. There is just a surplus of them, but I wouldn't mind buying the larger foliage ones because they're already established. I feel like crotons are a little bit slower growing for me, but if you again are able to grow them outdoors in full sun, they're going to give you the best coloration. And you can see that there are some succulents and cactus available at this Home Depot. I would say the previous Home Depot I visited had a better selection, and that one's way further out north. This is further down south. And you can see right here, they've got some ground cover, and then we have some crepe myrtles as well as a variegated ginger plant. And I do love the look of a variegated ginger plant. That's a plant that I've tried to grow in my collection, but it's been a little bit difficult to grow indoors. And then right over here, plant foldies. The reason why I did want to come back to this particular Home Depot is I felt like I missed out, and I missed out on one particular plant. And that plant is going to be a high variegated golden pothos. I feel like that could be another pothos plant that I could either take propagations from and really push out even more variegation, because I mean, take a look at this. This is for $14.98 by Vigoro Plants. This is the last of the high variegation pothos, and if you look at the stems, the pothos stems, it's got a yellow stem on it, so it looks like it is already carrying a lot of variegation. So, you know, I don't mind buying a basic plant like a pothos plant, because if you look at that variegation, it is absolutely stunning. And again, you know, a lot of those Japanese pothos that we've seen start from, you know, finding a specific leaf that has a certain characteristic or variegation, and then propagating it and hoping that it continues to push out that same variegation. Now, for $14.98, I would also say this is a beautiful Hoya carnosa. Leave it in the comments if you would agree. Look at that variegation. It is absolutely stunning. It is another Hoya that I have in my collection. I have a hanging basket from Costa Farms, but this is the reason why I really like going to this particular Home Depot, because the arrangement of plants, the way they merchandise them, the health of the plants are top notch. And that goes to show that not all big box stores are made equal or created equal. So that's why I want to make sure that we look at these plants. Like this right here is a Dracaena Steed Soul. Love this as well. It's another plant that I would eventually want to add to my collection. This is also for $14.98. And what I like about it is the new leaves come out a little brighter yellowish variegation, and as it matures or hardens, it becomes more of a green tone, so you can kind of see like a highlighted version of it. And then these are some more Dracaenas right here. These are Dracaena Masangiana or cane Dracaenas, $14.98 again by Vigoro Plants. Dracaenas, again, are super easy to grow in an indoor space. They are low light tolerant. They are drought tolerant. They are definitely a plant for anybody starting their wonderful plant journey. I would recommend it, because if you find a plant that is a little bit easier to take care of and you're able to actually grow it in your space, you're going to be more inspired to do so. I know that there are certain people that have started a plant collection and they buy the more finicky plants like the Calatheas, for instance. Those plants end up going to plant heaven, and then you get discouraged and you don't want to go, you know, grow plants. And that's my mission, you know, for this particular plant shopping video, is to really get people excited about buying plants that are going to be easy to care for, because they're going to bring you more joy, less stress,
more relaxation. And you can see right here, as beautiful as this calathea is, I am not going to buy it because the price is not quite right. And I already have 3 calatheas that I already know I'm having to work a little bit harder. And that's the thing. Sometimes you have to look at the plant. If the plant is beautiful, but you have to work 10 times harder than, say, growing a pothos plant, you have to weigh your options on whether the amount of care you're going to put into the plant is really worth keeping the plant. Now, this is what they call the Club Buster Tropicals. This is only for $29.98. Wow. This is a huge Alocasia as well. And look at this. This is a huge Ficus lyrata or fiddle fig leaf for only $29.98. That is an amazing price. That is a price that I feel like you couldn't pass up. Now, if I had a larger vehicle and I was in the, in the hunt for a large fiddle fig leaf tree or a Ficus lyrata, I would definitely buy that today. So if you're looking for one, I would definitely go to this Home Depot and purchase one. And as I walk around here, Plant Foldies, you can see that we have another calathea. We have these calatheas again. Now let's see how much these calatheas cost. I believe these are for $19.98. So definitely a higher price for the size that you're getting, because they have some on sale for $18.88. And that's the reason why Plant Foldies, you've got to look at the plant pricing before purchasing. Like this one right here, $10.98. It's another Hedera Helix, or what you call the Hedera Helix or English Ivy. Love the look of that green one. And then you can see right here, we've got a hanging basket of a spider plant. And spider plants are a little bit challenging to find without any cosmetic damage. Sometimes the tips of their leaves end up getting brown. And then you can see right here, this is an Epipremnum aureum Neon Queen Pothos, or not Neon Queen Pothos, for only $7.98. That is in a 4.5-inch planter. Not a bad price, but that is a plant that is a classic plant. It's an easy to care for plant. Plant Foldies, that would be one that I would recommend. I think you guys should all get neon plants. And then you can see right here, this is a golden pothos, an easy to care for plant as well. One that I would also recommend. I'm really trying to influence everybody to growing pothos plants. Can we also try growing pothos plants? Because those plants will definitely bring you joy. You can see that there is varying varieties of pothos plants and the variegation as well. And I did see this Syngonium last time. So this is a Syngonium golden for $10.98, and I want to purchase it, but here's the problem with it. I did notice that there might be some mealy bugs on it. There was some white little cotton speckles, and while I could take my my neem oil spray and spray it down, I just feel like maybe some of the eggs may have dropped into the soil. So I'm a little bit cautious about that. I don't want to bring potential plant pests. And even though they have very healthy plants, I still feel like you have to be very diligent in inspecting the plants. Although this is a Syngonium, I definitely would want to add to my collection, because if you look at the coloration, the variegation, it's really interesting. I love how the leaves are a little bit more round and robust. Look at that green on green minty variegation. And even the new leaves that unfurl have a purple tone about it. Unfortunately, since I have kind of detected that there might be some potential mealy bugs on it, that would be a plant that I just wouldn't want to add to my collection. And that brings me to another point. Call me silly, but whenever I do fill my plants, before I go into my plant room, before I go near my plants, I go to my shower and actually take a shower to make sure that I don't have any, plant pests hitchhiking on my hair, my hands, my clothing. That is the amount of lengths I do to try to prevent plant pests. Now, here's the thing though, no matter how much plant preventative pest control you try to do, it is natural for us to see maybe a fungus nest pop up, spider mites, thrifts. You have to forgive yourself. You have to give yourself a little bit more grace, because it tends to happen, and it's not something that you should blame yourself for. But again, Plant Foldies, like I said again, all of these plants, gorgeous plants, really like the look of these plants. And it is another plant like this one right here, this neon pothos. These are by Vigoro plants, but notice how these hanging baskets by Vigoro look a little bit healthier, look a little bit cleaner, and that's the reason why I love this Home Depot. So I'm just going to keep walking around and showing you guys some plants. Feel free to leave comments in the comment section. If you made it this far, thanks again. Please make sure you are hitting the like button. You mentioned all of the beautiful colors. Like, I love that these large cordyline tea plants right here, these are the kiwi or harlequin ones. Plant Foldy, should I buy it because it does have some nice foliage? And then I did want to buy an Aglaonema Silver Bay here today, but it looks like the ones that I really wanted have already sold out. They literally had this whole table full of Aglaonema Silver Bay. The good thing about it is, Plant Foldies, whenever you miss out on a sale or a plant that is at a big box store, you don't have to worry about it not coming back and getting restocked. You will be able to find them again. Like, I've even thought about buying this Tomathophyllum right here, or what you call the saloon plant. This is another plant that when I was on vacation in the Philippines, I saw massive sizes, and they are very easy to care for. I do like the texture of the leaves. It's definitely got a very interesting texture, and this goes to show again that this particular Home Depot, or Home Depot in general, have large foliage plants. Again, this is probably one of the best Home Depots out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area for plants, especially if you're looking for large foliage plants like this. Like you can see here, we've got some Ficus lyrata or fiddle fig leaf tree. We've got some large Dracaena steed sole right here, and that is actually really uncommon to find in that size because they just grow a little bit slower, or at least Dracaenas are. That's the thing about Dracaenas, is as easy care for they are a little bit slower to grow. And then you can see here, you can't get away from crotons if you're going big box store plant shopping, or just going plant shopping in general. Crotons, at least in the fall season, will be everywhere. I don't mind it because I actually love crotons. Some people absolutely hate them. I hope that at least as a Plant Foldy, you would be open to maybe growing them or finding some appreciation. They just remind me of my home country, the Philippines, because they are literally everywhere and they grow into large full-size trees. So I love the look of that. And then as I pan away, just look at how gorgeous all of these plants are. And I'm just going to keep walking around and showing you these plants. Looks like Proven Winner still has a bunch of plants for 50% off. You can see that this one is a Ficus elastica Chloe. Normally it is for $19.98, but it is for $9.98. So, I might debate on purchasing this one. This is the one Ficus elastica that I don't have. What I like about it is it does have rounder leaves. You can see this is a Ficus elastica burgundy. I do want to buy a Ficus elastica burgundy, and I do think that they have the larger form that's normally $29.98 for only $14.98. So that would be another plant that I'm definitely going to purchase. You can see we've got some philodendron sun reds and just more plants. These are all for $9.99, these particular ones. I'm also going to buy a Feeling Flirty Tradescanthia because the first one I ever got actually went to Plant Heaven, but that is not a bad price at all, and it's already super thick and compact already. So I want to add this because of the purple lavender color of the actual Tradescanthia. We'll see if I can grow this long-term successfully, but that is always nice to see that at this big box store they have a huge sale going on right now, and that is Proven Winners plants for 50% off. And I might even buy a Ficus elastica ruby. Look at how beautiful this one is. Look at that variegation. And that's the exciting part about going to a big box store. The surprises you see with certain plants, but also when you find one that is on sale. I am all about getting good value for my plants. I feel like if you're going to buy plants, you have to find it for the right price. I say that in every single video, and I will continue to say it, especially when you go big box store plant shopping. You already know that these plants are going to be restocked. Now, I will also make a comment about all of these Leaf Joy Leaf Joy Proven Winner plants. These are for $19.98, but they're also on sale for $9.98. So if you do want to try growing a hydroponic plant or a plant that's just growing in water, you can do like this is the Calathea Star Beauty or Beauty Star. Pretty healthy looking roots, and again, this is also on sale. So I'm just going to keep picking up these plants that are on sale and show you what they have available. love the look of this Epiprimnum aureum Enjoy. Like, this is a legitimate one. You can see how high contrast the variegation is. This is for $5.98. Really tempted to do that. That is another plant that I could have multiples in my plant collection. Actually, Pothos plants. And then take a look at this green shields. This one is for $14.98. This is an example of how I held off from buying one for Costa Farms. They had him for like $19.84, but this one I ended up getting on sale for $14.98, and it was actually a lot more full than the Trending Tropicals version. But as you can see right here, plant foldies, super exciting that we have all of these plants, these proven winter plants on sale. And I'm just going to keep picking up plants, showing you these plants. Let me know in the comments what you think. These ones are for $5.98. I love the Leaf Joy Littles series by Proven Winners. Freckled Splash or Splash Freckled. That's a really nice looking one. Mine doesn't have nearly as much splashy color on it, but I am providing it with a little bit more light in the hopes that it's going to get better coloration. But as I pan away here, if you ever want to get good starter plants, Proven Winners has some really nice plants. You can see that they've got Tradescanthia, they've got Fittonia, they've got Hoyas, they've got ferns. So I'm just going to keep pulling these up and showing you the plant details. A beautiful plant as well. I love the Ficus elastica burgundy, and I will definitely be buying one today. I think I may end up buying this one because it's got some really good foliage. It's got a really good structure about it. Look at how beautiful and dark the foliage is. You know, I love dark foliage plants, and you know, the amount of darkness that these leaves have, super beautiful, super elegant, at least in my opinion. And this is an easy to care for plant that I would recommend for anybody. I would say, you know, Ficus elastica brassica, what makes them a little bit more challenging is that they just need a little bit more light, but if you're able to provide them that lighting condition, they'll do well. This one is also a plant that I find beautiful, but I would not put in my collection currently. Calathea obtusifolia, or not obtusa, sorry, Calathea or orbifolia, but that one is for $14.98. This is a philodendron rojo Congo, easy to care for plant. I would actually buy this as well for $14.98. There are several rojo Congos in this one, and this is another proven winners plant. Really like the look of it. Even though people will say this is a basic plant, this is a plant that I would still recommend growing into your plant collection. Plant folies, I've shown you a lot of plants. This one is also another beautiful Tomathophyllum or saloon plant for $24.98. And for me, going to two different Home Depots and seeing that the quality of plants at both Home Depots were on point, it's just really exciting. I know that I mentioned we all need to be shopping at local plant nurseries, supporting small businesses. I do think that we need to do that, but I also think that if you're looking for some cost-effective plant prices as well, you can go to Home Depot, for instance. Like all of these plants right here are for only $14.98. So you can see like there's a Philodendron gloriosum, beautiful plant. If you want a large Calathea orbifolia, you can go ahead and spend the $14.98, which I think is really a good price. And then as I walk around here, you can see that there's just so many plants to pick from. This would be another Home Depot where I would know that if I actually took the time to go here and drive here, it's a little bit of a drive for me. It's about a 25-minute drive. I know that it would be worth the I guess the travel, because they will always keep their plants restocked and organized. And for me, organization, presentation, merchandising, and even the health of the plants is a really big deal for me, especially when I'm shopping at a big box store. I would say my expectations for big box stores are a little bit high, considering that most big box stores don't look at their plants as like the top priority. You know, they are in the business to sell. So it depends on the staff that actually take care of the plants. I would say if they have team members that actually take care of the plants because they are also plant lovers, that's probably why we have all of these beautiful plants being organized. But as you can see right here, plant foldies, I do want to know your insights again. And if you haven't made it to that like button, please hit the like button for this video. I am just currently selecting the plants I want to purchase. Like I think I want to buy this Tradescandia Feeling Flirty, since it is on sale for only $9.98. did want to walk over inside and just show you the beautiful I guess the setup, the decorations, the presentation that they have of their pumpkins. So this is one Home Depot that actually has a bunch of pumpkins. You can see that they've got them signed with different plant pricing. You can see that there are a lot of crotons as well. I should have probably bought a croton today when I filmed this actual video, but you know, I have all of next week and all of the rest of fall to really get the crotons. Now, if I'm gonna buy crotons, I already know that I'm gonna have to have a designated space with a bright grow light to grow them, and probably have some type of humidifier because they like that humidity level. So that's something I want to plan for if I'm going to actually buy plants. And that's another I guess advice I would have plant foldies is always plan for long term for your plants, whether it's the size of the plant that it will potentially grow in your care, the humidity levels, whether you have to overwinter the plant. Like if you're going to grow the plant outdoors but have to bring it inside, have a designated space for it. But you can see here, plant foldies, I'm loving the crotons. Let me know in the comment section if you like the crotons as well. And I did want to just show you the last part. So we've got some of these plants that are on sale as well for only $19.99. So I love blooming anthuriums, and I regret not purchasing one of these pink ones. I do want to add more of these pink anthuriums to my collection. You can see that it's a gorgeous plant. I don't think we really look at blooming plants as something that we want to add into our spaces. But like this one right here, Crown of Thorns for $12.98, but I love the pink blooms that it has. That's another plant that I would love to add to my collection. Leave in the comments, plant foldies, if you actually grow blooming anthurium. Like this is the one that I picked up, wanted to buy, and then when I turned around, somebody else picked it up. So that's another thing. If you find a plant and you're out and about, if you want to buy the plant, go ahead and put it in your cart, because I didn't want to tell the couple that picked it up that I was wanting to buy the plant, because clearly there's no reservations for it. But as far as these anthuriums, if you're able to give them bright indirect light, provide them with consistent watering, they're going to do well for you. And you can see that they do have these proven winter plants again for $9.98. This is the Ficus elastica taniki. So I'm just going to keep showing you a couple more plants before I end this video. Hopefully you have enjoyed what you've seen so far. Hopefully you will be inspired to go shopping, plant shopping at a big box store like Home Depot. It is one that I would recommend, especially if you're wanting to grow your collection. And you can see right here, this is the actual anthurium I want to buy. It's the orange bloom anthurium, a really nice looking one. This one is in a larger pot. I think it's for $19.98. So let's
You don't want my heart, you don't want my love, you just want me crying over you. You don't want my heart, you don't want my love, you just want me crying over you. And I'm thinking about you.
Lastly, we have a Hoya carnosa right over here. Really like the look of that as well. That is another plant that I really like the look of. And that is also for $19.98. So, you know, if you go to a Home Depot, a big box store, you will see the Vigoro hanging basket plants available. They have a bunch of healthy looking ones though for $19.98. So I'm just going to keep panning around here. You can see that we've got a bunch of Phalaenopsis orchids. Phalaenopsis orchids are readily available year round, and I'm always surprised that they they are readily available. And we're gonna see what else we have here. We have another blooming anthurium. I really like the look of that as well. And then we also have a Ficus elastica taniki and another anthurium here. This is a common red one, but I still feel like, you know, this needs a lot of love. That's one that you should add to your collection. That is only for $12.98. So we have some that are on sale as well by Casa Farms for $13.98, but I feel like these ones have a larger bloom and just the plant is a little bit more developed, so I would definitely buy that. And I do regret not buying this Crown of Thorns, the pink variety. It's only $8.98, so if I come back or I find it, I'm probably going to add that. Crown of Thorns is more of a succulent type plant, just FYI, so that is another plant I don't know all about, so I'm going to do a little bit more research before I buy the plant. But that is one that I probably should have bought. I didn't. And then you can see we've got a bunch of kalanchoe. But again, plant foldies, if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. I appreciate you watching this today, as well as subscribing to my YouTube channel at GrowFolds with all the notification bell on. This is Richie. Enjoy the weekend. I'll see you on the next one.